Marjorie Taylor Greene got a little bit of an explanation yesterday as to sort of like how government works when FBI Director Christopher Wray explained to her, I'm not part of the Department of Homeland Security. These are really gong show hearings. And what I mean by that is Republicans want nothing else at these hearings other than to get attention from themselves and to try to get viral gotcha moments on camera. Unfortunately for Marjorie Taylor Greene, she got a viral moment on camera, but it's a moment where she is being schooled. Here she is holding up her tweets to Christopher Wray, to which he says, I'm not on Twitter. I don't follow you on Twitter. And then explains to her, the FBI is just not part of the Department of Homeland Security. It's humiliating for Marjorie Taylor Greene. I doubt she even really understands it.
On the Southern Poverty Law Center and the way in which they relied on it.
Well, you relied on the Southern Poverty Law Center, but I would have you know, Mr. Wray, that this one right here, this person involved in the global Intifada group that illegally, they broke the law, came in and occupied the Cannon Office House building, interrupted Congress, interrupted hearings. Right here, Katrina Bleakley is the lead attorney for the Southern Poverty Law Center. Were you aware of this?
Congresswoman, as I said, I haven't seen the photos that you're holding up before.
Maybe, well, I posted them on my Twitter account. It's public. You know, maybe
I don't
you guys
spend a lot of time on Twitter.
Well, you know, oh, I'm sure you do, because the Department of Homeland Security, organized with other offices, has censored many Americans, including myself.
I'm not part of the Department of Homeland Security.
Right, Mr. Wray, you should be interested in investigating terrorism, and this right here is proof that we had terrorists in our own office building, global Intifada. And you rely on the Southern Poverty Law Centers. Katrina Bleakley is one of the organizers. I'll send this over to your office, so maybe perhaps you can stop targeting innocent grandmothers and veterans who walked through the Capitol on January 6th and might actually go after people tied to Hamas, tied to Hezbollah, and likely Iran. Mr. Wray, are you interested in members of Congress that are organized and participating in a Facebook group that has ties to Hamas?
We're not investigating people for participating in a Facebook group.
A Facebook group that is tied to Hamas?
We have multiple investigations into individuals affiliated with Hamas, and they're active investigations.
This really is, you know, this is not someone who's pretending. Marjorie Taylor Greene is not pretending here. She's genuinely this clueless. Now, let me focus in on one aspect of this because I do think it's important. This entire investigating innocent grandmothers and people who walk through the Capitol. The whole Capitol thing, there's nothing to even say about that. If there's evidence you committed a crime on January 6, 2021, you've hopefully been investigated. Your case is being adjudicated by the justice system. The entire innocent grandmothers thing is part of the now debunked claims about the targeting of certain people by the FBI. The first thing that's important to understand, law enforcement agencies get things wrong. This is not a show where we just reflexively defend anything any law enforcement agency does. But the FBI conducts investigations based on evidence and suspicion of criminal activity. They don't go, let's go look at the grandmothers or let's ignore the grandmothers. Certainly you can consider life characteristics, including age or gender, whatever. I mean, listen, most lawbreakers happen to be men who are not 75, right? Okay, so but the FBI goes by evidence. But importantly, they've trumped up this entire thing about the FBI targeting innocent grandmothers as part of a larger narrative about the FBI's focus and its actions, especially as it relates to school board protests and other politically sensitive areas that became politically sensitive during COVID. And the broader allegation is the FBI is overreaching, they're politicizing, they are investigating what is simply the speech of people, including sometimes people's speech who is being limited incorrectly by government agencies in violation of the First Amendment, and they are targeting individuals based on the political beliefs. They're going after grandmothers at school board meetings who are against mask mandates rather than in favor of. Most of this goes back to a much misunderstood or lied about memo regarding those school board meetings. And of course, there is no evidence whatsoever that absent evidence of criminality, the FBI is targeting innocent grandmothers. It's all part of this broader plot where they claim to be the defenders of the police, but also criticize the FBI, criticize other federal law enforcement, criticize Capitol Police when they perceive their actions to be politically inconvenient to what they're doing. Last thought. I don't believe Marjorie Taylor Greene is pretending with any of this stuff. I think she's really this clueless, she's really this ignorant, and she's really this dangerous. You might remember that a few years ago, the show got hacked and a bunch of money was stolen and we never got it back. But I now have more peace of mind because I'm using Aura. Our sponsor, Aura, is your all-in-one tool for protecting your online and financial accounts. Aura alerts you anytime your personal information is found on the dark web or data breaches like social security number, login credentials, financial accounts, and you get super fast alerts if a criminal does something like try to open a bank account in your name or take out a credit card in your name. Aura also lets you instantly lock your Experian credit file with a single click to stop unwanted inquiries into your credit history. Aura will monitor your bank accounts, home and auto titles. All of these things really just safeguard you against fraud of all kinds. Aura even protects your phone by letting you block and screen spam calls and texts. And Aura has parental controls for your kids' devices. You can restrict apps or manage screen time, set focus time to make sure they're doing homework instead of binging YouTube or whatever the case may be. You can try Aura for free for 14 days at aura.com/Pacman. The link is down below.